You buy them brand new?
I've had these for 2-3 years.
Damn.
Just chilling in the box. Had to.
I got the white girl dunks on today too. So
Uh,
I mean, you outclassed me on the shoe game.
nah, honestly, I was almost gonna get a all white pair for the gym, but I was like, I don't know. Now I wish I would have got them.
They were at a sneaker con and they were asking what the ugliest shoe of all time is. These people had the audacity to say that the Panda Dunks are the ugly. I go, you just say that because it's like in your brain. I'm like, there's been some ugly shoes released, and you think that Panda Dunks are the ugliest shoe? I was like, okay,
don't even get me started on no ugly sneakers.
Okay, yeah.
I could pull up like 5 ugly kicks,
stinkers, dude.
that people rock, like all pride. They cool with it too. I'm just like, bro, like what, like your kicks are trash.
Like they're just not it.
Like
no.
What are you talking about, bro? Oh, my fault.
The Balenciaga runners. That's the first one that pops in my head. Like most expensive shoe back in the day. Every rapper had those on the foot.
I mean, no disrespect to all the Yeezy fans, but oh man, Derby been trying to talk ish for a minute, bro.
In the chat?
Yeah. Well, he was trying to hit you up on Instagram, but I forgot that Devin didn't give you access to our.
Oh, I barely get on it. Yeah. So I don't even get on it. I don't have access to yours. Yeah.
Yeah. So no, because bro was trying to take shots when y'all were up.
Oh yeah.
25-8.
Don't even. Yeah.
And then bro came. It lost the biggest comeback.
Yeah.
Nah. Yeah.
I watched the beginning of that, and I'm like 25-point lead. I was like, their Cavs are not that bad.
Mm-hmm.
And then I didn't watch the second quarter. And then I tuned in for a little bit of the third, and I was like, uh-oh.
Oh.
And then I checked Twitter at the end of the night, and I was like, all right. Yeah.
Because he hit me up, and he was like, I need to talk trash to Roddy. I'm like, bro, I'm sorry. He doesn't have access to the page.
Don't, no. I barely get on any of that.
But DE said 123 to 116, buddy.
Respect. Game is game. I will say the Cavs are like the only team, I think, that do scare me.
Yeah.
I'm not scared. Everyone else is gone. Mm-hmm. 76ers are gone. Heat are gone. I'd even say the Knicks really couldn't keep up in a 7-game series.
So they're like what? They were 0-6, 0-7 against
no, they just against top 5 teams. They're 0-3 against Boston. Yeah. I think they lost to the Thunder.
Yep.
They lost to Cleveland. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So they don't scare me. But Cleveland, that team's well-rounded. So shout out to them. It's not like they don't deserve it either.
Right.
I mean,
agreed.
I give them credit.
Cavs and Heat playing on ESPN. We actually got that game on right now. We have I think it's not Golden State. It is Oklahoma City versus Grizzlies right now. Oh no, this is the Heat.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. For some reason, I thought they said it was. I heard Oklahoma versus the Grizzlies, but that might actually be the second game. Okay.
Speaking of the Heat, too, it's going to take like 2 seconds, but have you seen Andrew Wiggins? They posted that thing. Mm-mm. He hasn't smiled like once since he's been there. Every shot of him on the bench is. And he doesn't even have the lineup anymore. The beard's looking scruffy.
Dog.
Like, you're in Miami. I mean, I know they're not playing well.
So I did hear that he was going through like a lot of commotion prior to like the
maybe it's just his own mental stuff because he did deal with mental stuff. Mm-hmm. So I feel bad, but he just does not look like the Florida Sunshine's helping him.
No, for real.
I kind of feel bad.
That is mad unfortunate, but we appreciate y'all tuning in for another episode of 4th and 0. Thank everybody for kicking it with the boys. I actually got some kicks on today. I got the D-Rose 1.5s. These are my second time wearing them. This is the only shoe that I will treat like Jordans.
Yeah, and the silhouette's clean.
I can say that Adidas, when they made this shoe is mad lighter than my PGs.
Yes.
Like
I had the, not the knockoffs, but the ones with the stripe on the side there, the 3 stripes. I think they're the Adi Zeros or something.
Yeah.
Comfortable, lightweight. Could wear them with anything. Yeah. I've worn them with like the joggers back in the day. Yeah.
Yeah, they had some crazy tech in these back in the day too. I remember because I used to watch like a bunch of shoe reviews and like it was just like that little push point in the middle. If I were to take off my shoe, was like right below here.
Perfect. Yeah.
Bro. Man.
Well, they were. You knew they were running the game in like 16, 17. Ultra Boost, NMDs.
I would say way back. I'd go say like
you could go 13.
I was gonna say 11.
Yeah.
11 through 13.
People started signing with him, and then obviously Kanye took over, and then like that little stretch, like mid 2010s, over. Couldn't even touch him.
Yeah, couldn't hold it, dude.
No.
Yeah, now I don't know about now.
No, yeah.
Now nobody really messing with him.
No. Nike took back over.
But I definitely want to say, well, I did have the link up. Hold on 1 second. All right, chat. So before we begin, I would like to give a congratulatory round of applause, and everybody in the chat, please drop some hand clapping emojis for our host Ronnie. He has officially became a real estate agent.
Appreciate it, Sean. Thank you. Yes.
So
a lot of ups and downs trying to get there. Thank you. But we are licensed in the state of Florida. So if you need something, I'm not going to Jacksonville or I'm not going to Tampa for you, but I keep it in the Central Florida area. So yeah, thank you. I appreciate it.
I thought I posted his link in the chat. Okay, so I did not.
Oh, it's all good.
I did it on my YouTube channel, but hold on. 1 second. I'm having technical difficulties because I posted his business link in the chat, but for some reason
it didn't save.
No.
Oh shoot.
So 1 second. Let me have some. All right. Let me switch YouTube accounts really quick. But why am I acting like a boomer right now? Oh my god! Because they switched out the YouTube layout.
Oh, okay.
So like I'm doing like the old fashioned way of looking stuff.
Did they switch the layout on like the moderate or like the admin play? Okay.
Yeah, there we go. All right, yo,
so they're now sweet.
What's good, Miles? So Miles, I don't know, you may or may not have missed it, but we was congratulating Ronnie. He is officially a real estate agent in the state of Florida.
Yes, sir.
This brother is on his way to a prosperous career. I am also pinning his link for everybody who has Instagram to go ahead and follow him. It is pinned in the chat. And without further ado, my quick question of the day. I know Miles is going to, I already know his answer. And I know his answer. I didn't put the answer in the poll. But since the Lakers have been on a 19-5 stretch since the trade, I propose a question. What's the playoff prediction? What's your playoff prediction for LA? Wow, I said playoff predict. I am slow. Can I edit that? Nope. All right. So my answers, I have 4 answers. First round exit, Western Conference Finals. Second round exit, or NBA Finals. We have 3 votes for first round, second round, Western Conference.
Let's go Western Conference.
You going West?
Mm-hmm. They'll run into OKC probably and get handled, but I think this team's doing it. They really are playing cohesively right now. The lack of big that they didn't end up getting is going to hurt them a little bit, but yeah, I don't see a reason why they can't get there.
So I got second round.
Okay. This team is playing too good right now, and unless something changes for them to get exited in the first round, I think they can get at least the second, but I can see Western Conference Finals.
So right now, if I can get to the damn standings, okay, thank you. All right, so realistically speaking, I would say either the Nuggets would knock them out. I don't think it would be a 2-3 seed anyways. I need a bracket.
So what, they're the 2 right now, so they would play the 7. Who's the 7?
Timberwolves.
Bye-bye.
Damn.
See you later.
Well, honestly,
I think it's like a 6-game series, but
honestly, I would have said if this were Timberwolves last season.
Yeah, no, not this. Not
this season. No.
No.
So actually, you might be right. It might be Western.
I can see it. I think they'll run into OKC or Denver.
Well, see, my thing is now everybody's doubting Denver because they haven't been on a skid, but they're not the same team they were.
Yeah.
These past few
I don't think their
seasons.
window's closed, but they're not like scary right now.
Right. They are 3rd in the West,
Yeah.
so that is a definitely more consistent team. For the last 10 games, they went 6-4.
Okay.
So
I would ask Miles, I think this is a no-brainer. I know how he feels about LeBron and everything, but you have to like this trade now. Like AD's Probably done for the year.
I would, if anything, if I'm him, I would probably say that LeBron's still on the team.
Oh yeah.
So until,
but from like a Luka standpoint, I'm like,
Right.
you got Luka for AD who got hurt again. He was probably going to get hurt there if his body was that fragile. So, I mean, I think it ended up working out for them. But
yeah,
I don't know. They're playing well right now.
Just to hit on a quick few notes real quick. We'll switch over to wrestling.
Yes.
So, Miles, DE, Ronnie, how y'all feel about the GOAT finally going heel after 20 years?
Yeah, it's, man, I mean, this is something that, like, as a kid, obviously I'm not as deep into it as I was, but we all wanted him as a kid to turn heel because we were tired
100%.
of it. We're tired of Super Cena. I know he did a podcast with, I think it's Chris Van Fleet, and he was talking about how he had everything set up for his heel turn in like 2011, 2012, theme song, attire. They pulled the plug on it. You said it was a little too late. I agree because we're only going to get this for like
I literally agree. Honestly, I think this is going to go down as his worst persona yet. I mean, because he only has, like one or two. But this one, nah.
The only thing I'll give them credit for, I think it's good short term for WrestleMania because it's going to get buzz. Like, this was on ESPN. This opened up like First Take. It was like Bleacher Report posted it. Like, Barstool, all these places posted it. And the comments were engaging. Like, damn, that's crazy. So it's going to get some eyes on it. I think that's what they wanted.
I genuinely just wish Prime Cena did this.
Oh, I know.
Prime Cena back in the day, like if he had a championship, and I mean, I know he was carrying the team on his back. He literally had the whole company on his back, but he had to be the golden boy. But if he actually were to turn heel, in that moment, that would have.
They had the element of surprise back then because we weren't expecting it.
Yes,
you could have just done this at like a random show, and they would have been like,
"Yep." When it was RVD and John Cena at ECW and the mask, the
one night,
the helmet, biker helmet came through, speared him, and we were like, "Oh my god, who is that?" And it was Edge.
It was, dude. That was, oh my god.
And then come to find out, Edge was literally said, "No, we are not done with this saga," and literally became the best. Honestly, in my opinion, I think that rivalry is better than Randy Orton
and Cena. You think so?
Oh, 100%, 100%.
It's close. That TLC match too they had, I think it was Unforgiven 06 in Toronto. Oh my god.
Listen, I'm sorry. Everybody will crown Randy Orton to be his greatest rival. Like, there was emotion, there was storytelling. It was like the hip hop versus rock. There was like two it was two worlds clashing. Like everything you could want in a story
was it built to that. Yeah.
Like when I think of Orton and Cena, I'm like, well, if anything, you just have two top tier powerhouse names.
Like, I think the big thing with people look back with Orton was like he was like 99 overall, like bald Orton with
right.
No arm, like just tattoos, no wrist tape, just like looking around, slamming his hands on the mat. Yeah. Like that's what I think they look at with that rivalry. But I agree, the Edge Cena rivalry,
bro, like
crazy
because beating him in his own match in his own hometown.
And then he had the Rated R spinner belt too.
Yeah, come on, bro. Like the whole Monday night thing with Lita in the ring.
Like, I didn't watch it as a kid. I'm like, bro, I should not be watching this.
No, for real. He went into his crib, slapped his dad. Like, come on, man. Like
that was peak.
For real. So when I think and Batista and John Cena was supposed to be like an ounce of Edge and Cena, but
Batista, that was towards the back end a little bit.
His career, so it didn't really have as much flair.
He only had I think maybe a year or two after that full time, and then he went to the movie scene.
Yeah, because you could tell he was sick of WWE.
He was. Point. Yeah, he was ready to move on. Yeah. Let me ask you too. How do you feel about Travis Scott being in the ring during it?
He slapped the dog.
And they legit because they didn't even report it. He busted his eardrum, which I could see because he just open hand, boom.
Bro had all that aggression for Kylie, and he put that joint.
He thought that Cody Rhodes was Timothy Chalamet.
For real, dog. He had all that hostility for dog. Oh my god!
Smack the dog.
I was like, damn, y'all really going in on bro? That was a crazy violation. That was crazy. I'm sorry.
Oh man, I do want to see how it unfolds. I'll give him some credit, but I'm more invested in like what The Rock's doing right now than I am what Cena's gonna do, just because I'm always invested in The Rock. But
what the hell is The Rock doing here?
I mean, it's just I don't know. It's like there's like mysterious circumstances every time he shows up. He does like the 3, and now he's at 2. I don't know what that means, but
I mean, like last match he was in, he could barely move.
I know
he didn't do jack to ish.
Yeah,
I mean, he literally just looked like oh man, he looked like the most unathletic person I've ever seen in a ring.
just
I get
jacked, but like not
it.
moving anymore.
I get it. His body's old, so he can't really perform. But I'm like, why are you here?
Yeah.
I mean, unless he's just hyping, unless he's just like, like miking up the whole match, and
Well, that's what didn't they? I think they said last year he did that whole run because the Black Adam movie flopped so hard that he had to like. Yeah, they said that. I guess that was one of the reasons that he like was he was in it like full time pretty much.
Yeah,
he was on like almost every Raw. I think it's because that movie flopped so hard he was trying to get some credibility back, which makes sense. But
bro had to re-up on his pocket.
He needed to get some aura back because he lost it from that movie.
God, bro. I mean, because that movie was ass. I'm sorry.
Oh, I didn't even watch it. I knew it was bad. And I was like, I'm not even gonna touch it.
That joint was a 2-pack of ass.
Ooh,
that was bad. That joint was bad. Yeah, man, you can't. Yeah, he can't walk that. He can't walk that back.
No, that's forever. You can't undo it.
That's forever on his resume. That's tough.
No, but it was. I mean, as far as like the heel turn overall, I mean, it got the people talking, so that's what you need right now. Mm-hmm. You need buzz in the air. Mm. I guess they said that Travis Scott's been training to actually wrestle. So I'm trying to think. The only thing I could think is like you get Travis Scott in the ring, and then like you bring Bad Bunny back, and they could have like a little thing because Bad Bunny's actually not bad in the ring. But
look, if he actually wrestles, he has to say straight up.
Oh yeah. Oh,
he has to grab the mic.
And you got to be honest, of his entrance, I feel like they would go crazy with that. So, I mean, there could be some perks to it, but I don't want to see it all the time.
He has to say straight up at least once.
He does, yeah. Auto-tune mic, too. Auto-tune mic. Put that one to the side. Make sure that people hear it.
If he does not say that, bro.
It's a bust.
Yeah, 100%.
It's not worth it.
Wasted opportunity. But speaking of which, have you been watching like their little series they've been doing with the new wrestlers?
Oh, is it LFG?
Yeah.
I've been seeing the clips and stuff. That one dude's funny. It's fun. The one that was John and Bully Ray.
Oh, no, I missed that one.
Yeah, he was like, he went to shake his hand before, and then Bubba Ray like pulled his hand back and was like, I'm not going to shake your hand yet. And so like he cut a promo on like Bubba Ray about like, damn you like old bitch, like you bully. Yeah. And Bully Ray's like, oh, I'm not going to shake your hand until you earn my respect and all that stuff. So that was a clip I saw that looked pretty good, but like
the only one I saw was this little blonde girl went up the Undertaker and was like, so I asked your wife, is it okay if I can use the Gates of Hell substitution finisher because she was like, well, because I'm trying to find something that really matches my style and I couldn't really,
that was like the triangle choke, right?
Yeah. And then bro had his mouth open, wide open. He was like, so you come up to me and you ask me about a move that I've been using for 20 years. And then like the clip cut. I'm reading the comments and they were like, so technically, because everybody had to police him.
Oh, yeah.
Like, so technically that's actually a judo move. It's not really yours. But like, I was just like, and then people were literally in the comments like, you know what? At least she asked.
Yeah. I mean, she should have gone to him maybe. And that move probably doesn't fit her at all either. No, but sure. I mean,
I'm like, hey, at least she, had she was respectful enough to want it.
That's true. I mean, she did. Yeah, she asked.
So,
I forgot too. This is random. I don't know if you knew this, but she stole AJ Styles' Clash.
Oh my!
She used to do. I don't remember what the fuck she called it, but like the first time she did it, she had like the upside down, and she would go, and I was like, that looks just like, and it was like the exact same move. But I'm sure she didn't ask him about it because he was in TNA at the time too. But I mean, people steal moves all the time. It's just
how many people got the sweet chin music?
Motherfuckers just spam it now. Remember that shit ass Uso match? Bam, 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 bam.
And like nobody would.
People were roasting in the comments. They go, y'all are twin brothers. You've been together for like 36 years and you have that match.
Facts.
You had no chemistry.
Facts.
I was like, they're in the ring every day with each other. Mm-hmm. I'm like, how do you not? Biggest stage of them all. They always wanted a match against each other, and they do it, and they just stunk.
Yeah.
Oh, that shit was awful.
That is horrible. Real quick, so the boxing match.
Oh, is it the Paul brothers, right?
No,
No, which one is it?
it was the one that happened this past weekend. With no, don't tell me. It was the one with Davis. What?
Gervonta Davis?
Yeah. So
Oh, he
that.
did fight. Who did he fight, though?
Sorry, I'm looking it up
No,
real quick. Sorry. Oh, I know that it went to. It was let's see. Oh, why won't? Oh, it was Lamont Roach.
Okay.
So this fight just happened this past weekend, and that ended in a tie.
Oh, I
And,
definitely didn't see it. I didn't, damn.
and yeah, that there was a lot of controversy around that one because they were basically saying that Davis should have won the fight,
Yeah.
but hey, he didn't lose the belt,
Yeah.
but it was pretty close, so that's why there was a whole lot of controversy and animosity around it. Miles said, "Ronnie, how about them Gators basketball?"
They're right now in the corner, 18-19 against Bama. Yeah, they're cooking.
So we have March Madness around the corner.
Yeah.
How are you guys feeling about?
I'm definitely gonna get deeper into it. I mean, I just catch like the games whenever I'm like completely free and like it's on. But from what I know, what I've seen, what I've watched, I'm feeling pretty good about it so far.
Mm,
Um, you know how there's always Cinderella stories and stuff like that, but I think they can go deep.
mm-hmm.
Elite Eight would be nice at least, but
Right.
we'll see.
Miles, since you're here, Ronnie was asking, how do you feel about LA now since you guys are on a 19-5 stretch? Because we were talking about LA earlier.
LeBron aside, I know the feelings of LeBron, but just overall, how you guys fare down the stretch.
And while we wait on that, I guess we can shift over to some basketball really quick. Speaking of LeBron, that brother just passed 50K combined points.
Most of these records that I mean, they're just like overlapping each other. Now, I don't think anyone's going to touch them.
No,
I just don't still see it.
hell no.
Even the way today's game's gone, I just
Hell
don't think
no.
it's even remotely
Not by
possible.
a stretch.
Yeah.
So he basically said, "Go Luka, screw LeBron. I think we'll probably be the 4th or 5th seed because you're currently 3rd right now." So, and you also said, "I don't think we hold unless Luka goes off."
Mm.
So, Miles, actually, if you check the poll, actually, where do you think that your playoff series ends? Check that in the poll really quick. And while you're doing that, speaking of Dallas, this team can't catch a break to save their life.
No.
The owner just increased the price of the tickets because of future investments.
Was this before the ACL tear?
Yes.
Yeah.
This was before the ACL tear. And then speaking of the ACL tear, that brother is out until 2020.
End of next season, I would assume, depending on where they're at. I mean, either way, they're kind of screwed.
I would probably say the beginning of, after next season, the beginning of that prior season.
Okay.
Because you got a year injury, and then on top of...
It sucks as a guard at 32, the way he plays.
Mhm.
A lot of people think he's not going to come back the same, which I could also see.
Well, so apparently he had the most minutes played since the trade.
Oh, I could see that.
Yeah, so he was playing out of anybody in the league.
Kind of like a Westbrook situation where he was like really the best and only option they had.
Yes.
Yeah. So he would just run the court for 46, 47 minutes.
So he was playing a lot of minutes too, so that actually contributed to what happened. And shout out to the GOAT, Rachel Nichols, because she actually made a good point in her tweet, and I wanted to bring it up. We'll also talk about Ian Rappaport and Schultz damn near duking it out at Starbucks for the NFL Combine. You saw that report?
No.
Word. Okay.
I missed that. Damn.
That's crazy. So basically, what Rachel Nichols said about the situation: Kyrie tearing his ACL wasn't inevitable, but it wasn't unimaginable either. Trading away a generational talent in his 20s for a 31-year-old with significant injury history, then driving your 32-year-old star into the ground by playing him more minutes than anyone else in the league for nearly 6 weeks straight, despite his own injury history, remains extremely confusing.
Yeah.
So they shot them so this is what I still can't really figure out about this organization. You give away your best star, I get it because he had issues, but you didn't really help him out either because the guy you traded for, knowing that he had injury, got injured.
Yeah. And 2 different positions too. Traded away, yeah.
So now, no disrespect, I heard analysts basically call Klay Thompson the ghost of Christmas past, but
yeah, I mean, I haven't heard his name like all this year. I haven't kept up with it enough, but I haven't heard his name a lot this year.
So Miles said, yeah, I voted. I think it was Western Conference Finals. I think if we play like how we've been playing, we'll be in the conference finals. But, bro, I think with no center will hurt us.
That's what, yeah, that's a no big.
Definitely will, too, especially if you go up against Jokic.
Yeah.
So if y'all get to that conference finals, it's definitely unfortunate that Kyrie tore his ACL this far into his career and into the playoffs. But I'll be real, I think with Anthony Davis coming back, I mean, they could have made somewhat of a stretch, could have made an impact, but now I think it's safe to say that this team
that was a playoff team with AD and Kyrie at full health, but it's not even, it's probably a lottery team. I mean, I know they're in 7th or 8th spot right now. I think they're around 500.
They're 9th.
They might be 9th, yeah. I think they're 30-32 or 32-30.
So right now, I'm sorry, they're 10th.
Oh, they're 10th. Okay.
Currently 10th. So, I mean, right now they're basically a play-in team, if that.
Yeah, which that's going to go away in a matter of about 2 weeks.
Well, we'll see, because I know Phoenix right now, they've been trying to make a stretch.
Yeah.
Somewhat. So, we'll see. This is unfortunate, man.
It is, and I don't want to say they brought it upon themselves, but
they did.
It still sucks. But.
You know, a host made a good point that this was somewhat of Kyrie's redemption season. I looked at it more as he finally found a good spot for maybe the rest of his career, but
yeah,
we'll see how things go. I think besides that, we talked about Jimmy Butler going to the
Warriors. Yeah,
Warriors. There has been a lot. Okay, so it was last week. There's been a lot of talk about the NBA trying to find a new face of the league.
Mm-hmm.
A reporter asked Anthony Edwards how he felt about being the face of the league, and he said that that's why they drafted Wemby.
Oh.
So he's self-aware.
Yeah.
A lot of people were dunking on LeBron because he was saying that what's the point of being the face of the league when you have a lot of people just talk about your game and they just basically talk about stuff that they don't even know and they end up bashing you.
Yeah.
So I think they're self-aware that, trying to be the face of the league isn't what it used to be anymore.
Yeah, it's not as prestigious, and it's especially with criticisms that have come out now, like you said, social media and all that stuff. It's definitely a little more toxic than it used to be. But
so now that goes into another glaring hole of what the NBA is lacking.
Yeah.
So now if the players are self-aware,
then
does that mean that Adam Silver is aware?
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of issues going on.
Mm-hmm.
And, none of them are really, they may be addressed in the offseason. I highly doubt it, but I don't really see this getting better. I think now as years are going to go on, that the NBA is going to be more of a joke than it already is.
Yeah.
We already talked about it with All-Star break.
Uh-huh.
So I think this is now we're seeing more of the corruption within the league. And now everyone's just going to be playing for themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Well, not playing for themselves, but it's like, hey, I'm going to do what I can. They're still going to win. They're still going to want to get their max contract, but it will no longer be about the passion of the love for the game anymore.
Exactly, yeah.
So that is just my 2 cents. There's a lot of speculation of whether KD will come back this season to the Suns. A lot of people not a lot of people I've seen. I don't know if it was reports or rumors, but the Mavs are looking to get him.
Okay.
So, I mean, I think right now we're sort of witnessing the decline slowly of Kevin Durant.
Yeah. It's about that time, I think.
I saw a possibility that Bradley Beal could go there. So I'm sort of thinking that I'll be real, we might see Phoenix get blown up.
Seems like it's about that time for that too, because they're like treading water really bad. I mean, a team that has Bradley Beal, Kevin Durant, and Devin Booker on it is just stagnant. So I mean, they got to shake something up because Beal's got the big contract. Durant does too. They're all aging. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's time to move on.
A few more points. Jalen Suggs, he is out for the year with a torn knee.
Unfortunate for them because they were on fire at the beginning of the season, but
so I think the biggest story right now, besides the fact that the Knicks are literally just being the Knicks right now, Cade Cunningham has been putting on a show.
Mm-hmm.
As of late, I think Detroit has finally found their footing after a literal, like over 2 decades.
Purgatory. Well, yeah, since
3
they're champion. Well, they won in 2004.
Yeah. Oh God.
Yeah.
Ooh, so well over 2 decades.
I mean, yeah, Ben Wallace, Rip Hamilton, that era. Yeah,
them boys. All right, Ronnie. So, what are we doing with Philly? So they finally shut down Embiid for the year with a knee.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you saw, Paul George finally said that he is no longer podcasting for the rest of the season.
I did see that.
To focus on basketball.
Yeah.
So my first question, if we're Philadelphia next season, what are we doing?
They dug themselves in a hole. I mean, what do you do with Paul George? No one would take the contract. Embiid, I think it's just over. I think the process is just done. Mm-hmm. I mean, there's just no way to. It's like every year now. It's like he couldn't play in back-to-back games. That's how the year started. Now it's like, well, he can't play the rest of the year because they had to shut him down. Mm-hmm. His body, I don't think, is just going to rejuvenate himself the older he's getting and the way he plays and stuff. So if I'm them, I mean, I'm keeping Embiid. I think he's more of a 76er for life kind of thing, but I would try to get out of that Paul George contract. Draft, get younger. That's really the only thing you can do. I don't know if they want to do a full rebuild, but like, what else could you do?
So there is a possibility that I don't know if you noticed, but there's a trend now because it's starting to happen with the NFL. A lot of teams are eating this cap.
Yeah.
Because before,
they're taking it on.
Before they used to hang on to the cap now.
It's the same thing with Devontae Adams. It's
yeah.
Like that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. They just ate it.
Ate the cap. Same thing with
They
Debo,
tried for like a week to get the trade, and they were like, we can't.
Right.
So, yeah.
Same thing with Stephon. They were like, we'll take the hit. Just get him out of our team.
And it used to be like, oh, well, we don't, hesitancy. And now it's just like they look at it, and they don't, they hit the button and it's gone. I don't know what.
They probably said, you know what, we're done meddling with it. Just get it out of our hands. We're tired of it.
I think teams have tried for so long to keep that, like you said, like
the grace period almost.
But like I think they've realized it just never works. So like we just cut your losses and keep moving.
So like they're somewhat aware now, and they're actually seeing the road like 2-3 years from now.
Yeah, where they're just like Devontae Adams is a perfect example. Like what are you going to do with him this year in a rebuild? Rodgers is gone. He's not going to want to play there. So, like, just cut your losses. If you can't find a trade partner, just cut him.
Right.
It's going to be more headache than it's worth.
So, Derpy just said, want to know what's sad about the 76ers? Embiid's season-ending injury, he will still find a way to blame someone.
We'll get an end-of-the-year press conference about it, yeah.
So, I don't remember where I heard this, but there could be a possibility that he could medically retire.
Okay.
If if it's gone on so long, because if it's to the point where it's unplayable, they would force him to retire.
Yeah.
Because there's no way in hell that we're gonna. Well, one, we don't want to be responsible.
Oh yeah.
But two, it's like, dude, like you can't physically play.
Mm-hmm.
So there might be a possibility later on, like if things don't, coming this October, if things look better.
Yeah. I think it's gonna be a long off season for them to kind of see where they're at, because I don't know, it's just they're stagnant, they're stuck, and they didn't really get anything out of this. They never went to the conference finals. It was just like
Agreed.
Game 7 blown out, semifinals, play-ins. They didn't get anything out of it, and now they're just stuck. So.
It's odd that they didn't want to sign Harden or Jimmy, but they'll take on PG and
yeah. When really looking back on it, he hasn't been as effective as he was the last couple of years. It didn't work in LA. OKC was still him, but like
honestly, that was probably like the last time we've ever seen him, because he always
deferred. Yeah.
Well, yeah, because in LA he always deferred. I'm just like, bro, like why are you deferring?
Yeah.
Like I get it, like Kawhi Leonard doesn't even think this is his team, but like
I know, yeah.
Like, come on, like why are you and you're putting up trash performances? But I'm beating a dead horse.
Yeah.
So if I'm Philly right now, you might have to take the LA route and tank in the cap.
Yeah.
You might have to eat that just to release him, because I mean, do I really want this person for 3 more seasons who only now decided to take basketball seriously?
Yeah, no.
And right now your record is 20-32. You're 20. Hold on. So their record right now, 21-40.
Oh my God!
You only just now decided that maybe I should can the podcast when you could have did this at the beginning of the year.
Mm-hmm.
And
you're in a new situation, almost like your last chance to like really return to your form. And like, yeah, now you're like, okay, maybe I should can the podcast when it's too late. It's just too late. You already had a bad rap when you were in Mexico with the chick. I mean, I don't know. It's just bad. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
and I think we called at the beginning of the year that this was probably not going to work, and it didn't. It didn't work at all, and no one was healthy enough to like really see. But yeah,
it would have worked in the beginning, but unfortunately, he had like that that hyperextended.
Was that in the preseason? I believe. Yeah.
Preseason, and then come to find out, they were like, "Oh, well, Embiid doesn't foresee doing back-to-back games."
Yeah.
That really just solidified their fate going into the season.
They had no momentum. It got killed before it even started.
Right. Yeah. And Maxi's out there balling, literally just trying to keep things afloat.
And what we talked about, I've talked about, I think you've touched on it too. So many of these teams are built right now through the draft. So you have to kind of take that for what it is. They're building their pieces from the draft, and then they're getting role player here, perennial all-star here, and then the team is complete. You know what I mean? Like a lot of these, like even Cleveland, this team was drafted, and they're like the 1 seed right now.
Mm-hmm. Same thing with OKC.
OKC, the Celtics too.
Yep.
I mean, they got Porzingis. That's another one. Like all-star-ish, good role player, Drew Holiday, but Tatum, Brown. I mean, that was drafted. So that's really where these teams got to parade instead of these, big contracts with older players that aren't working.
And lastly, speaking of Tatum, he made a comment saying that why he doesn't like. He felt slighted that he wasn't acknowledged to be NBA face of the league. How do you feel about that?
He's just not his personality, and I think just the way. I don't want to say the way he plays, but he just doesn't scream face of the league. I think it should be like that. I mean, Tim Duncan was never the face of the league just because he just kind of kept to himself. Tatum keeps to himself. Like he'll do an ad here, a commercial here, but like he's just not there. It's just not there. It just doesn't scream like face of the league.
Can you believe that Ja Morant was almost the face?
Yeah. Because he had the personality for it. He was outgoing. You could watch a game and get hyped because he got hyped, but like JT just goes out there and plays and it's over. That's how the best way I can describe it. Is he a superstar? Yes, but like face of the league, he doesn't need to be. That's where I view it. But
agreed.
Yeah.
I saw that and I think people are like, there goes JT crying again.
See, and that's another thing is people hate him for like no really particular reason. It's like
I think it's all the crying. So I feel like I can't really speak on this because we're of different generations. I'm not saying like we're mad older than them.
Yeah.
We're like what, like 2, like 3, maybe 4 years.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know. I'm not in a situation where I'm literally playing and I'm so used to. I don't even think I can even make this conversation because I can literally say, "Hey, if I play the game of basketball and I feel like I got hacked, I don't know." But that's because when I grew up, shit was rough.
Yeah,
but he was playing that same thing too.
Yeah, that's true.
So I don't know if it's just him or if it's just the league in general to where everyone's a crybaby now because they took the physicality out of the game.
I think that's what it is. I mean, like, there's so many players you could pick on, and I feel like they just pick on him more so. It's like, well, like, even after he won the finals, it's like, oh my God, look at the lack of aura. What a clown. I'm like, the dude's just like, he kind of went about it awkwardly, but like, he's happy he won a championship. They're like, he's clip farming because he's like, doing this shit in the post game and he's holding the trophy a certain way. I'm like, just why are we doing this?
Yeah. Because
they're like, he's trying to be like Kobe. Look at him sitting in the chair with the trophy.
Yeah,
bro.
That's a little OD. And they said the same thing when Kyrie tore his Achilles and shot 2 free throws.
Oh, the thank you God thing. Yeah. Oh no, that was
or just shooting it in general.
Oh, this past yeah.
But then I'm just like, bro, he's not the second person to shoot free throws while injured.
No, it's not. And they were like, yeah, he's not Kobe. Leave him alone. He's not Kobe. I'm like, the dude just wanted to play through it. He is of a different generation. Technically, he came in, 12, 13 years ago.
And I think too, I could see because JT did get a lot of flack early in his career for trying to be like Kobe.
Yeah,
but it's just like when Kobe used to do those player breakdowns, and JT's, he saw that Kobe did one on him, and he replayed it. Like he watched it all the time.
Yeah.
So then I'm just like, okay, in my head, if that's the GOAT literally telling you what he should have did, so of course that's what you're gonna do. So it's not him trying to be Kobe. That's him learning.
They clowned him too because he sent that text. I think it was after Kobe passed, and it was like, because he had Kobe's number, and he was like, "I always got you" or something. And they were like, "Whoa, what a corny! The dude's corny. What a loser." I'm like, you can think that. That's okay, but like, that's just his way of going about it. I mean, people are just too worried about other people's business, man. I don't know.
Yeah.
And also, this dude is like dad of the year. He's taking Deuce to every game. He's got him on the court.
Nobody ever says anything about that.
No. He keeps his head down. He's a, God-fearing man. All that stuff. All that important shit.
But they'll talk about Zion and his baby mom.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Like, we don't talk about the fact that, like, Tatum is literally, like, doing all the incorrect dad stuff and, spending time with his kid no matter what.
Yeah.
He has his own little locker next to him. But he's corny. He's corny. I forgot.
Zion
it's corny to be a good dad.
Zion gonna make headlines because his baby mom came out on Twitter and was dogging him.
They would rather do like a McDonald's meme for Zion than be like, you know what? Shout out to Jason Tatum for doing this.
Zion was about to be the one too. He was about to be first in the league. Crazy.
I'd almost look at like as far as faces go. I mean, obviously LeBron had a stretch. I would say Steph had his stretch. They were both rightfully faces of the league. Steph had like the confidence and the like media appearance and like the presence to like do that kind of stuff where you're like, okay, we can trust in him. But even like I think Luka, we talked about that for a little bit. Luka, the whining too is another thing we brought up. Like, could he get there possibly? But like last year in the finals, spent more time whining to the refs and they got blown out. So I don't know. I just don't think there's anyone right now that could really step up. And even with like Wembanyama, it's like he's got the blood clot thing going on now. So hopefully he gets through that. But I mean, I don't know. I mean, you can rate him. But
Spurs organization, because Pop, he's not coming back. So, shout out to Pop, and I hope that's well. I'm like, wow, like, there's certain things in the NBA that's certain, but when like Kobe left, I'm like, oh crap, like this ain't it.
Yeah.
But now Pop,
yeah.
I'm like, all right, all the GOATs retired, everybody retired. Yeah. I'm like, all right, like the game is changing, but I'm like, yo, Pop
is equivalent to Belichick as far as like you just don't ever think that like it's gonna end. You're just like, he's gonna coach for like
he's immortal at that point.
It's pretty much what it is. It's like you don't even second guess it. You're like, oh yeah, Pop's still coach. Like don't think about it. And then
same thing with Calipari and Coach K.
Same thing, yeah.
Like
I think Spoelstra will have that longevity too with Miami. I think in like 20 years he'll probably still be trying to kick it.
Yeah, 100%.
But I don't know. It's just crazy right now.
Yeah, it's sad time, bro. But you know what? We about to switch gears.
Oh, and thank God the amount of news that came out today, because we got something to talk about.
We about to switch gears because all day today has been crazy. And that screenshot I sent you, apparently that was a leak. I wasn't even supposed to get out.
Oh God, which one was that? That
was a DK Metcalf.
Oh yeah,
that wasn't even supposed to get out.
Really?
Yes,
Ooh.
That was supposed to be under wraps.
Ooh.
And the team doubled back and said, "We're gonna do everything we can for the organization." Yada yada yada. So they had to put that fire out mad quick.
Damn.
Yeah, so that was a PR nightmare. However that got out, they're getting fired.
It ain't happening. Damn, I didn't know all that.
They are getting the old Vince McMahon, but I called it. 20-something weeks later, I called it, but we are like almost, 3 days from a month away from the Super Bowl? That is crazy.
Damn, that is crazy.
Yeah.
We got free agencies this
about
Monday.
To kick off.
Yeah.
Oh, man. So, Derby also said, Ronnie, who hurt you looking like Malibu Most Wanted?
Oh, damn.
That's tough.
It's a good movie.
All right, man. So I'm going to go off and read the news in descending order. So we're going to start with most recent, and then we'll talk about the draft.
Okay.
Did you apparently see what was going on with that good old man Sanders at the NFL Combine?
Shador?
Yeah. Apparently he was being brash and arrogant in
his
meetings.
Yeah.
Yo, shout out to the other quarterback.
Cam?
No, it was the other one. Bro had like one person in his booth taking pictures of him. And then like everybody else and their mama was over there at Shador.
Oh.
Yeah, there was.
Was it like a popular? Was it like wasn't Jackson Dart? I don't think. Was
I don't even know. Some light-skinned dude.
Oh, okay.
I don't even know who it was, but I was like, word. There was like one reporter. It was just taking pictures, chopping it up with him.
Yeah.
The camera panned over, and it looked like a concert
flooded
at Shador, and I was like, all right. But I get it. They just trying to pay their bills, so I get it, man. So I'm just going to start with the one that I see at the top of the list, and then, of course, we're going to go in descending order, so we're going to backtrack from last week as well. So that man, Debo,
mm-hmm. Yeah,
went to the one team that he, out of all the freaking teams he could have went to, he went to the Washington Commanders. I'm like, all right. So they doubled down. They lost to Philly. Said, you know what? Say less.
Let's get him in Philly.
Let's
get him against
Philly.
We
gonna trade that man for peanuts, penny chip, and napkin, and now he a Commander. Are you?
What?
So all I'm gonna say is, yes, this is gonna open up their offense a little bit more. But you mentioned it before. That brother is acting like he is running with weights on his legs.
Yeah.
We'll see how healthy he is, but I believe with the way Jalen was playing, or Jaden,
Jameson,
he may have a sophomore slump because CJ had the meanest that I can remember,
and he wasn't supposed to because he just had like the natural talent.
What?
I don't even.
That brother hit the slums, so he may have a sophomore slump, but hey, he has weapons now.
He does. He has. I don't want to say no excuses. They got to the conference finals, or the conference championship. But, yeah, I mean, we just talked about, like, is he past his prime? I think for this move, though, you have to do it as a GM.
Oh, 100%.
You gave up nothing for a guy that really just needed to get out of his situation.
Literally.
You have a quarterback that's a lot more dynamic than Brock Purdy, and I would argue and say is better than Brock Purdy.
Mm-hmm.
You have Brian Robinson Jr. in the backfield, so you have a decent running back.
Austin Eckler,
too.
I wasn't going to bring him up.
I wasn't trying to bring him up. No hate to him. I hope you're doing good.
Bro was not about to recognize him.
Obviously, you got McLaurin. I mean, it's a good situation for him to go to.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I mean, I don't think this gets him over the hump to like Super Bowl next year.
Mm-hmm.
But I think you just had to do it.
As long as Scary Terry gets his 1,000 yards, because I know right now he's sort of trending on a Mike Evans right now.
The little streak on that. It's been five
seasons with over 1,000 yards. So,
and he's got some years under Evans, so he has the chance to try to. I don't know if he's going to hit that. What is Evans at? 10 or 11 years?
Yeah, that's like 11.
Yeah, that's hard. I don't think that's going to happen, but
11.
But yeah, it's I think it's a good trade for them. The 49ers aren't really sure what their game plan is.
I think they're gonna get Devontae.
I could see that too. I mean, because they're talking Ayuk trade too.
Yeah, I saw that. I don't think they'll move off of Ayuk.
They were talking Ayuk trade to the Patriots.
With his knee right now, I don't think.
See, so the issue I had too was that I saw a couple people report the Patriots, but I go initially when this whole drama was going on with him last year, the Patriots, remember they offered him a lot of money and he was kind of like, I don't know if I want to go there. So I'm like,
so real quick because Miles said something.
Yeah,
he said Shador will be a bust.
Oh, I could see that.
So I actually just read something today about how they think that New England is going to also go after AJ Brown.
They've checked in, and honestly, I would check in too. I mean, Vrabel loves him.
Right.
I would at least call.
If you don't leave us though.
But someone brought up, they're like, so prime receiver, under 30, just won a Super Bowl.
Yep.
Just got a big contract. Yeah, there's zero reason to trade him.
Yeah.
Unless the Patriots, which if they do it, I will cry, offer the 4th overall pick for him.
Oh, hell no.
You guys would probably do it. I mean, you guys could get like an Abdul Carter, someone at the top of the draft.
I'd have to remove myself from this blue trap bubble that we're on if that were to ever happen.
Would you do that if you were the Eagles?
Hell no.
You wouldn't even do it if you were the Eagles?
No, what?
So we would both be mad because I'd be like, first of all, I don't want to do that.
Because if Sweat walks,
then
we could just go after Myles Garrett.
That's true too. Yeah, that's true.
I mean, because we just re-signed Bond.
Yeah.
Slay and Bradbury going.
Yeah, which is not really
we're letting the vets go. I want to keep Sweat because I wanted to keep Hassan Reddick, but they keep disappointing me.
I know.
So I wouldn't pull that. If I pulled that, I might commit a war crime.
Unless, and then no one's going to offer it, but like 1st round pick this year, 1st round pick next year, 2 2nd round picks, then you're like, I'll at least sit down and ponder it. But I mean, if I was you guys, he's untouchable then. AJ Brown.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
I don't want to move off that.
No.
In all seriousness.
Unless you guys have like Marvin Harrison Jr. in the back end and you're like, okay, we think he can move up and you could trade Brown, but you couldn't move Smitty to be the one and expect to like.
I mean, he's been a one he was the one before Brown got in.
That's true. And when AJ's hurt, he's the one.
And he set his NFL. I think it was franchise rookie with over 100 yards. Oh, I'm sorry, not 100 yards. 100 catches.
Okay.
100 catches. I'm sorry. I'm slow.
Yeah, I don't. There's no way you guys are trading him. Like I said, the Ayuk thing, just to me, like coming off a torn ACL, he didn't really want to be there last year. They got to go some other route besides that. And then we'll get to the T. Higgins thing in a while because, like, RIP to him.
Oh yeah,
and his contract aspirations. But yeah, to wrap up the Debo thing, good trade for Commanders, 49ers. I just think they're trying to reset themselves because
Cowboys are punching the air right now.
Yeah, a little bit
because they just re-signed. So they restructured Dak and CD. Re-signed. I'll get to that. Yeah, we'll talk about it.
Yeah.
All right. So going in descending order, yes. Eagles re-signed Zach Bond to a 3-year, $51 million contract.
Is that an overpay?
No. Oh hell no.
Well, you got that. I mean, one good year. I mean, I guess he earned it over the one good year, but
I mean, we got to lock down our people because
that's true.
I mean, again, we let Slay, Bradbury walk. So we're trying to get the defensive pieces. Sweat might walk.
Yeah.
So if
who's your D tackle that keeps getting linked to people? Is it Mason Williams or not Mason Williams? He was the one in the post game after the Super Bowl. He was like, I just kind of want to go where the money's at.
That was Sweat.
That was Sweat. There was someone else too, though.
Oh,
D tackle.
Yeah. Oh, Williams. Yeah.
Yeah, Williams. That's his last time. I'm trying to remember his first name, but yeah, he's another one that they're going to try to keep. But I know Sweat should be the number one priority right now for sure.
In my opinion, but we'll see. I don't know. This team, they're not in a rush, but I know they take care of their people.
Yeah.
So I'm not.
And that makes sense. Yeah. And they draft so well that you can kind of pick and choose what you do. But yeah.
But speaking of linebacker or defensive tackle, Max Crosby, that brother got paid, making him the highest non-paid quarterback at $106.5 million.
I guess he valued the money more.
3 years, and they just let go of Minshew.
Yeah.
Miles, I got a quick question. Jaguars are planning to release Captain Kirk after 3 years.
Yeah.
What's your move? Yeah, you let me know. So the Seahawks, DK Metcalf has finally.
Yeah.
I said this all season. That brother needs to go after. I didn't realize he was there for 6 years.
Oh my God.
Yes. So after 6 seasons, he is trying to get up out of Seattle.
He said Gino's coming back for how many more years? Oh,
word. I'm out.
All right. I just wanted to check.
No, I'm laughing at Miles. I asked him, what does he do? He says depression. I don't know him. Yo, Jags fans are in the toilet right now.
How about that GM too? That's like a negative aura off between that. They said, "Hey, do you want to do the Duval?" He was like, "I don't think I can top Liam's Duval over here." It's like, okay,
your team is.
Oh my God.
Hey, at least you're getting a new stadium, right?
Yeah.
Right.
They're so
right.
Yeah. Trust in Shad Khan. And then Tony's gonna keep trying to run.
Oh my gosh, that's you can't make this up, bro.
Cannot.
Speaking of Seahawks, Seahawks released Tyler Hockett after a decade in Seattle.
Oh look!
Oh my god,
there he is. That's your GM right
Word.
there, Miles.
Okay,
looking professional now. Yeah, but Lockett's gone.
DK up out of there. I bet he and Lockett was talking about it too.
Oh, yeah.
He was like, yo, I'm out. He's like, all right, I'm out. Say less, don't question. Rams are trading veteran offensive lineman Noah Jackson to the Bears for a 2025 draft pick. And then they also...
Joe Tooney.
Yeah.
That's a big one.
For real.
That's a big one, yeah. That's
because that boy, Caleb, was the most sacked.
So, to talk about that for a second, it's like... So he's 32, and people keep bringing up the guards start getting a little less productive in their 30s,
mm-hmm.
but also they give up a fourth, not bad.
Mm-hmm.
He's an All-Pro every year.
Mm-hmm.
You need to get someone on that line for him.
Literally,
so it was you can't win, you can't lose because
right.
They're like, oh well, Caleb needs people. So
Literally.
If you can give up a 4th-round pick for an All-Pro guard, you just do it.
Yeah, that's a win.
That's
a win.
Yeah, and I don't know what the Chiefs' idea was there because maybe they're just trying to get younger. But I'm like, I don't know. You guys just lost the Super Bowl. O-line's a big thing. It's hard to find good O-linemen. You know that. So
yeah,
I don't know what their rationality was unless they're just going to try to draft. But yeah, I mean, good for the Bears for picking him up because that'll help Caleb a lot.
Yeah. Shout out Ben Johnson. That man already.
Yeah, they're making it work.
Literally.
O-line's the big thing, but.
So Raiders plan to release Gardner Minshew after 1 season. I know a team he can go to.
Oh man, Jacksonville.
Yes.
The community, Duval.
Oh my god.
They need to restore some fucking aura in that stadium. Bro, so I guess that would work.
Yes, I'm glad. I'm so glad you read that.
I know. Bro. I'm like, where could he go? Oh yeah. Duval.
Oh my god. This team. I hate dunking on this team. But
I know
this
it's
team
sad.
Genuinely, I get. It's like the Cowboys and the Jags, but the Jags do it to themselves.
Yeah.
But it's like, I don't know. Oh man, I'm sorry, bro.
Wait, they already have a backup quarterback though.
They do?
Yeah.
Oh god.
Mac Jones.
Let's be real. That brother is is this there to.
He likes to talk shit after he throws it.
Matt, for real, bro.
He got ran out of bounds, -8 yards. He got
Christ, man.
Oh.
In sad news, Sam Hubbard retires from Cincinnati.
Yeah, they released him, and he said, "Okay, well, I'm just gonna." I don't know if they released him because he was retiring, or they released him and he's like, "Well, I'm not playing anywhere else. I'm retiring." But
yeah. Oh God, this team.
That team too.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
If anything, it's more like I don't know if it's pity because the fans deserve better.
I know.
And so does Burrow.
And that's a Ohio State boy, local hometown guy. They loved him, and they're just like, well, we got to get you out of there.
Wow, that is tough.
Because they're trying to freaking pay 7 people at the same time. They've made no progressions on getting any of it figured out either.
Literally.
They haven't even tried with Jamar. They keep screwing T. Higgins.
Literally.
And then, not Sam Hubbard, Hendrickson wants a contract too. They haven't even tried with him.
They have done nothing.
They've done nothing but just tread water.
That defense is like dismal.
Yeah.
Nobody's on that defense.
No. And their O-line's still a mess. Their O-line is still
They need a running back.
Problem. They also need a running back because Zach Moss and Chase Brown just don't cut it. You had a running back and you let him go to Houston.
Because they didn't want to pay him.
Because they didn't want to pay him. I don't know if they thought he was washed, but like he had like 4 games in a row where it was like over 120.
Right.
I was like,
oh my God, you can't make this up, bro. This is like, if anything, this is the part of football that just brings me joy.
They have like a Pro Bowl offense too. I mean, like T, Jamar, and Joe Burrow could be in like the Pro Bowl together. And I'm like, you just are treading water.
We can literally look at the Super Bowl team and look at this team now.
Yeah.
2 different teams.
Yeah. Yeah. And honestly, you could say they've gone backwards because they haven't really progressed in getting anyone extensions or improving the O-line.
Yeah.
And their defense still has question marks.
Mm-hmm.
They start slow every year. I don't know if it's conditioning. I don't know if it's coaching, but it's like they're going to be 0-3 at the beginning of the year again. And it's just like deja vu repetitiveness. And I'm like, who's going to step up and be like, this is not working?
Nobody.
No one cares.
Nope.
No. Why should I?
They're like, hey, Joe will figure it out.
Yeah.
And then you're going to have a quarterback who's injury riddled and still relying on
that
him.
poor dude just goes out there and gets killed.
Every season.
Yeah, okay.
You would have figured like after his that wrist injury that kept him out, it was like, oh, let's build around him some more. Yeah.
He's already torn his ACL, he had the wrist injury, he's had ankle issues. Yeah.
My brother's a Steph Curry just without the ring.
Yeah.
And in other news, Bradley Chubb, linebacker for the Dolphins, agrees to revise contract. I'm sorry, that was a mouthful. Anyways, basically they're looking to rebuild that contract of his so they can at least bring some more people in there. So Travis Kelce has decided to come back.
He
after
has.
13 seasons, said he could not go out like that. They were already dogging him because they said in his condition he should have retired. So I'm just like, you know what? Hey, they'll figure it out. Andy Reid already said he's coming back. So they said, you know what? Bump it. We're just going to spin the block.
They're in a weird... I don't know if I wouldn't say they're in a weird spot. I think they're okay, but like you traded away an all-pro guard. Kelsey's not going to produce for you next year. If anything, you might have to ask him to block more if you're not going to be able to put another guard in there that's going to have that same production. I mean, D-Hop didn't work. Rashee Rice is coming off that knee blow, so I don't know.
Sheesh.
I don't know.
Shout out to Pat Mahomes for taking his man out.
They'll always be okay because they have him, but it's kind of like with Brady. Like, you would always say that every year, like, what are they going to do? But then they'd end up, like, putting lacrosse players in there. You work it out, but...
Yeah. Agreed. So, Osa, I do not know this brother's name for the Cowboys.
Oh, yeah.
He was the one that got that 4-year extension.
Yeah.
Let's see. Saquon became the richest running back after the 2-year contract extension worth $41.2 million.
They do take care of their people, like you said. I give them credit, yeah.
As we said before, Jets have released Devontae Adams and gave Allen Lazard
I know
the chance to seek a trade.
To where? For what?
They literally just said, yeah, figure it out.
Released in a week. That's just ridiculous.
Released in a week.
No, like that's like them going to like oh god, Reed Blankenship. No, that's a bad example. He's actually solid. It's like them going to Kenneth Gainwell and being like, you can seek a trade. To who? Where's he gonna? He's gonna find like. It just blows my mind. You just don't hear players with like that less of a stature get like permission to seek a trade. Just release him. He's not gonna find a trade.
Literally, I think he and Devontae just need to go to San Francisco.
Yeah.
At that point.
Yeah, I mean, I swear to God, I don't like to do it, but I swear to God, if they're waiting to find where Rodgers goes, I'm going to lose my mind.
You might
end up losing my mind.
Yes.
Okay. I just wanted to check because I think
I had that gut feeling too because I was like, what are the chances that they link up with Rodgers again?
The only place he even fits that they could take them on to would be like the Giants. because like the Giants don't have a quarterback, and then they don't really have receivers either besides Neighbors. So then you would put Adams next to Neighbors. But then I feel like that's redundant because then he stays in New York.
Mm-hmm.
If he wants to go to the West Coast, there's not a one West Coast team that could harbor Rodgers and Adams. Chargers are good on that. 49ers are good on that.
Definitely wouldn't go back to the Raiders.
Raiders, yeah. I mean, the Raiders could use Rodgers, but he's not going back to the Raiders. So, I don't know. I mean, at some point, again, you guys are friends, but, like, you guys aren't married. So, let's finish up the career and figure out where you're going. He will not die without playing with him for 17 weeks.
I mean, that was a deadly combo back in the
I think I was in elementary school. I gotta check that again. Was that 13 years ago?
Hey man, that was a.
It was like we laugh at it now, but that was nasty.
That was a duo.
That was nasty.
That was a nasty 1-2 punch. That was like a modern day Brett Donald Driver.
Yeah. Jordy Nelson over the field too with Devontae running. Oh, I mean,
yeah, that was sick, bro.
How quickly we forget.
But
it's the big 2025 right now.
Mm-hmm. No, I get it.
Keep moving.
I get it.
Yeah,
I agree. But honestly, that would be something that we'll watch. Yeah. I sort of have a feeling, but I don't know. They would really have to wait on Rodgers because a lot of people are saying that he's better off just retiring.
I wouldn't be surprised if he retired. I feel like he kind of just gets boxed out because, like, where would he go? If he already has his ring, so I don't think he's ring chasing. But like the spots he would be open to like fitting into would be like I said, the Giants, the Browns. He's not going to them. I mean, the Raiders. I don't think he's going to the Raiders. Like, there's just teams that like are not good that he's not going to be able to go to. I mean, people brought up the Rams if they would have got rid of Stafford. That made sense, but they kept Stafford, so
I think I was still. I don't know. I feel like that would just be that wouldn't even be like a good replacement.
No, I feel like you go backwards with that a little bit. Yeah,
a lot.
It's really like a 1 year of Rodgers. I mean, I don't even know what you would get out of him anymore. But
agreed. That's literally you.
That's
exactly how I feel. Yeah. That's exactly how I feel.
People give him a little bit too much hate. I think he played decent towards the end of the year last year.
Right.
I know it was more like garbage time, and they weren't trying. But I think once his Achilles kind of got used to playing again, he started throwing the ball a little bit better.
Yeah.
But also he's not Tom Brady. He's not going to play till he's 46, you know?
So this is just literally just pulling a rabbit out of a hat. Let's say if the Falcons were to move on from Kirko, do you bring, and they obviously want to start Penix, but is there a chance you bag Rodgers? And
I just think that creates,
or does that create the Viking?
It creates the same kind of situation, I think. Yeah, because it's like, I think that also, screws with Penix a little bit because you were like, I'm going to give you the keys over the guy we just paid all this money to.
Right. So,
like, take us. Now it's like, oh, well, we would bring in Rodgers, but now you have to sit again for a year. So I think that just screws with Penix. So I think you just roll with him.
Got it.
And let it go.
So to add on that, and sorry,
No, are you going to talk about the Vikings? Yeah.
So now they're not expected to use the franchise tag as they were going to
on Darnold, and they said they're gonna try to work on a contract. So
they're both working through options right now.
I don't, because we already talked about that too. But.
So like, and we keep talking about it because I don't know if it's a one-off or is this like a thing like this is who he is now
with Darnold.
Yeah,
I don't know. I mean, because what are you exploring? Like, you're going to sign him for like another year?
Is this who he really was, but he was just on bad teams? Or did he just finally get a chance where it fit? Because he never got a chance when he was drafted. I'm sorry.
He did, but he got stuck in a bad situation because the Jets have a history of just not being able to make the quarterbacks work.
So, besides Mark Sanchez, but he had a really good coach.
Yeah.
But,
he was hidden on a good defense. Yeah.
And that ended up flopping too.
Yeah.
So my thing is, I know it takes quarterbacks a little while to find their footing, especially with like journeymen like that. I mean,
you hate to bring it up because I know he's not the greatest quarterback of all time, but Geno did follow the same trajectory. He was like god awful in New York, and then he ended up going to Seattle and became a Pro Bowl quarterback. So it's a kind of the same thing with Darnold. he was awful in New York, and then he went to the Panthers, and he showed a little bit. Went to the 49ers, showed a little bit, and then
I'd say maybe not. I would say maybe Baker, but not so much. It was
the problem with I thought about the Baker comparison. He was good.
He was good in Cleveland, just bad. I think it was just bad coaching.
Mm-hmm.
Then Panthers, he showed promise, but then they literally just traded all their good assets.
The Panthers were a mess because of Matt Rule, and then that was just never going to work.
Right.
Cleveland, he kind of got pushed aside, and he knew that, so that kind of messed with him a little bit. But like Darnold never really was good anywhere until he got to Minnesota, but he also had a really good team around him.
Right.
So the formula could be like same thing with Brock Purdy. It's like, could you put Brock Purdy in Oakland or Las Vegas right now, and could he play the same way? Probably not.
Mm-hmm.
He had prime Debo, Ayuk, he had McCaffrey. Like, he had set up a very good team, and I guess if you're a decent quarterback, you can look better than you are with a good team, and that's what I think with Darnold is what happened.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's a decent quarterback, but looked better than he is because he had a good team around him.
Right.
That's all it is, but I don't know. I mean, do you think that they should keep him, or do you think it's time to roll with McCarthy?
My thing is, I don't see them losing anything by keeping him, but it's just a problem of who you start.
Yeah, because it's like, do you pay Darnold like $20 million a year and then he sits on the bench? It's the same thing with Kirk Cousins.
Right. But then, oh, God, I hate this.
Yeah, I do, yeah.
So it's like, does it hurt McCarthy to sit back another year?
I just think you have to rip the Band-Aid off. Because you don't, like, what if he plays and he's awful, and then you're like, well, damn, we have Darnold, we can keep him, and we can just play him for like 3 or 4 more years.
But then we could just have the quarterback conundrums we had in the past.
You could, and then you also have the flip side, though, of that is, what if you play Darnold and he is just as good, if not better than, or what if you play McCarthy and he's just as good, if not better than Darnold, and you save all that money? Instead of paying Darnold $20 million a year, you have a rookie contract with a rookie quarterback who's doing the same thing.
But he wouldn't even get that money until like 4 years after.
Yeah, that McCarthy wouldn't. So you're saving money by getting rid of Darnold if he's just as good, if not better.
But then you still need a backup.
You do. You would. I mean, Minshew. I don't know, just throw someone in there.
Yo, this
carousel
is screwed, bro. We're chopped either way.
What like these? I don't think the conversations that they're having in like the GM office in Minnesota are probably a more analytical and intelligent.
Right.
Because we're just looking baseline. They're probably looking deep.
Right. Well, because it's because they have all the numbers there. They have the stats and everything. Yeah. But like we're trying to look at it like, is this a good like? What are you doing next season?
Logically,
and then,
yes.
Right.
It's. I almost want to say it's a decent problem to have because you're like, okay, well, we had a good quarterback last year that was loved by the team.
Right.
Then we have a rookie that could be really good, but we just don't know because he's.
I will always bring up the Carson Wentz Nick Foles thing because Nick Foles got us to the. Carson got us there. Nick Foles finished it, won the Super Bowl. So then you bring that in thinking that, okay, Foles is going to be the answer because Carson was hurt. They both were bad next season.
Yeah, exactly.
So, because Carson, well, obviously because he really didn't like nobody on the team.
Yeah.
No one really liked him.
He was more of a mental blockage and he just didn't fit. Yeah.
And then everyone loved Nick because obviously you could tell that team obviously a lot better.
Yeah, the guy that hoisted the Lombardi was Nick Foles.
But he wasn't getting them where they needed to be.
Yeah.
Because he went 2-2 in that start, brought Carson back in, and that's when we had the quarterback conundrum. I just think either way, I don't see an issue with bringing him back. It's just like, how much are you going to pay? Is he going to be willing to? Well, I don't think he's really going to be willing to.
Mm-mm.
So it's like, okay, but then you just bring in another quarterback, and I get it. You need to develop your draft pick.
Yeah, I'm kind of going to be happy when this is over because it definitely hurts my head to think about. I just don't know what you would do in that situation.
I just don't know if this is the Sam Darnold who's finally becoming who he wanted to become, or is this just the craziest one-off, like David Johnson for the Cardinals
explodes and then he
for
goes
over
to
1,000 yards. And
Houston,
then
it's like just falls.
Fell off. So
I don't know. I mean, it's crazy. I just think, because like if Darnold is who he was last year, he can even maybe improve on that and get more consistent. You got to keep him, but I don't know. I really don't.
Let's see. All right. So, did you want to get into the franchise tag a little bit more?
There were only the T Higgins one. I think there was only two. It was Trey Smith and him. Yeah. Yeah. There's not much. I mean, they're screwing him. They were legitimately screwing him.
Literally.
It's like
it's bad.
It's bad, and I feel bad for him.
Second straight year,
and like contract talks have gone nowhere.
Not even with Jamar.
I mean, you assume they're going to prioritize Jamar because he is technically he's the one. I mean,
does Jamar hold out?
Definitely could. I mean, I think.
Like, I know they all three made a pact, but when does it become solo?
I think he is connected too much with the team. Like you said, I think the pact is too strong for him to hold out.
Right.
But like with T Higgins, I think T Higgins would hold out before Jamar because I think he has a right to at this point.
Oh yeah, 100%.
If they go into July and August and there's not one progression and an extension,
yeah,
I'd just be like, what do? And honestly, too, with the tag, I think it's a little screwed up because they shouldn't be able to do it again. I think if you tag someone once, it should be your one opportunity to make an extension happen instead of just trying it out over and over again.
This is bad.
It's bad, and it's like
is it lazy or just
lazy? It's indecisiveness and it's lazy because it's like you've screwed him and people are like, oh, he'll be fine. He's making $22 million this year. Okay, but
we literally talked about that. If you tax everything because he has agent, home, he's taking like literal half of that. If he's doing commercials, ads, like any other
all that extra stuff,
like that really dwindles down. Like, was it you taking 26? Was it?
I think,
and then you chop that, whatever game check is, and then you chop that game check.
We're looking in the mid-teens, like 15, 16 probably, you think?
Right. Yeah, so you really, I mean, yeah, he's making more than the average 9 to 5er.
Clearly, yeah.
I mean, but...
Here, the thing is, too, is though, like, as human beings, like, and I know it's the NFL, it's maybe a little different because the money is different, but we all want stability. We want to be able to know, like, we don't want to work at a job and it's like, oh, we might fire you in like 5 months. I don't want to know that. You know what I'm saying? And like, you can, but it's like with him, he wants stability on like, okay, I'm going to be in this situation for 4 years. Guaranteed. I get 90 million guaranteed. It's for 140, something like that. He wants that. That's all he wants. He could tear, and God willing, knock on wood, all that stuff. He could tear his ACL in training camp. That number is like gone.
Done.
He's losing 20-30 million off that number easily. So that's the peace of mind that these players want, and I don't fault them for it. And it's a shame that the Bengals are dragging it on like this. But
literally, I agree. Sundays are gonna be weird now. Jimmy Johnson announced retirement from Fox Sports after 31 years of coverage. Did you see him lose a step? I didn't really see him lose a step. I mean, like, if anything, I'm not trying to throw him under the bus, but I think Terry Bradshaw could have probably hung it up before he could. These might just be the things that we're not seeing, like similar like how Randy was fighting some issue.
Yeah.
And we would have never known until he said something. So I think it's like one of those sort of things, unfortunately.
Yeah, and I think, he might just be ready to just sit at home on Sundays. He might just be tired of the traveling and stuff, so...
yeah, because I know men at that age, it's like, yeah, you're enjoying yourself, but at some point in time, it's just like you just...
Yeah, he probably wants to hit the golf course on a Sunday or watch it from home.
I think solitude is calling.
Yeah, I think he's just ready to go. It hits a point, so, I wish him the best, but yeah, it does suck because he's been there for so long.
For real.
Yeah,
it's definitely going to
be... Older than both of us, pretty much, yeah.
Bro, it's going to be weird.
Oh, yeah.
As I said earlier in the show, Eagles released Darius Slay. He said before that it was going to be his last year. I believe that he is going to either look for a new team. He hasn't said anything about retiring.
Well, I think he mentioned that this coming up year he wanted to do one more, right? Mm-hmm. So I don't know if this changes his plan because I don't know if he wanted to finish it there, but yeah, I don't know. It kind of the writing was on the wall.
Yeah.
Guys are getting younger. The backfield's stacked, so
yeah, definitely wanted to let the young bulls run the show and get up out the way. No, I understand. Sean McVay says that he's been sleeping better after Matthew Stafford deal done. I'm glad that was done too because I really did not want to see him upon the Giants.
No,
I'll be real.
that would have been a sad way to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really would have been upset if he just went out that way.
Yeah.
Draft stock. We'll get into that in a minute. Yes. They've. So I guess Kyle Pitts plans on staying with the Falcons.
I know, and I think a couple teams checked in on trades. I mean, his value is kind of low right now. The way they've managed him, I'm like, someone should take him.
Literally.
I just don't think it's working there. I think it's time for a change of scenery, but
definitely.
I don't know.
Dak says that he has no timeline, but he will be very, very ready for week 1. As you said before, Niners are open to trading Brandon Ayuk, and then they traded Debo. Still backtracking. Aaron Rodgers among quarterback options for Giants, with Matthew Stafford returning to the Rams. Yeah, I don't see that really happening.
No.
Shedeur Sanders is confident he can be a franchise-changing quarterback. If that's not what you're trying to do, do not get me. I don't know if you heard, but there was... it was reported, but it also was... I think they just made a report about it. He was only speaking to teams that he was only interested in getting drafted.
Did see that, yeah.
To the... I don't know how truthful that is.
Yeah, there has been stuff that in his defense has been like misconstrued, because he definitely has a spotlight on him that they keep bringing up stuff and they're like, that's just not true. But
right.
I just feel like that couldn't be true. I mean, I feel like he wouldn't talk to like the Eagles. Obviously, there's no point.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like he should be open to like at least the top 10 teams.
Right.
You know.
How do you... All right, so we mentioned it before about Travis Hunter wanting to play both positions. We mentioned that it wasn't sustainable for longevity in the NFL, but he is still on his ship about wanting to play both cornerback and wide receiver.
Yeah, I think that'll get handled whoever drafts him quickly.
Mm-hmm.
I think it'll just be a conversation of what I said was that he's a cornerback that has packages designed for him at receiver.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think he plays every snap, both sides, but I think like, put him on the offensive side for, 2-3 snaps, take him out, skip a drive, have him come back that next. So like every other offensive drive, maybe have him come out for some wide receiver snaps, but like, yeah, it's just not going to be sustainable, I don't think.
I think if he does not pick a lane, it'll ultimately stun his growth.
I think it will too. Yeah, I agree with that.
So I know a lot of people probably won't want to hear it, and they are more on the Travis Hunter hype train. I understand it, but logically and physically, he's going to run himself into a shorter career.
Yes.
Especially if they're going to increase the regular season. I mean, I don't know how they're going to handle preseason with him.
Mm-hmm. That too, the first time, this is just randomly pops in my head, the first time he gets burned on like a route as a corner because he played like 5 snaps already on receiver, they're going to be like, yeah, he's tired, that's why. It's going to come up. He can't handle the NFL play style, that's why he just got burned. It's going to come up, and then it's going to hurt his psyche. Like you said, I think it's going to stun his growth. So he should pick a lane. And I think they'll pick it for him if he doesn't.
He was listed as cornerback at the combine, but he didn't participate at the combine.
Yeah.
So that's when I saw that he was looking into being a wide receiver as well. I don't know if he's just really just trying to sell himself to the highest bidder, or if he's actually going to do it. I think this is going to be a lot of it's going to do him no justice now. In the long term, it's really going to hurt him.
Oh, for sure. No, I agree.
In my opinion. But hey, we just reported I'm not him. So we will see. So our boy JT, I said that man was still going to be playing.
Oh yeah.
So he issues a second statement denying allegations of inappropriate behavior. Now the NFL, I think the week that we missed, the NFL was looking into it.
Okay.
The Ravens and the NFL were having sidebar convos about it. So there hasn't been anything yet. But as of now, if the season were to start today,
he would be out there, like you said.
So I still think that he would be out there playing. Now, I was listening to a podcast and they were talking about it. What's the difference between Deshaun Watson having all these allegations coming out and they basically ruined his career versus Justin Tucker having all these allegations?
There's no difference at all.
Because
it should be treated the exact same way.
But it's not.
No, it's not.
So
I haven't even heard about it really past what I mean, the Deshaun Watson thing was like an everyday report. I haven't heard about it at all.
They dismantled that man's career one by one, but JT came out with, I think it was more allegations for JT in the beginning than it was Deshaun.
Yeah, he had like 3 to be. Deshaun had like 3 to begin with, and they ended up getting like 30.
It was enough to throw up the red flag.
Yeah,
and then it was like, oh shoot! But then like now JT had, I think it was like 7, 6 or 7, and then
it was like 2, and then it was like 2 the next day, and then it was like 2 more or something, 3 more than that. Yeah, and it was like all in a row.
Deshaun couldn't even get out denial.
No,
JT got his second one out.
Yeah. And like I told you, apparently it was whispered that it's been going on before, and that it's been trying to either been kept under the rug or that, it's like, oh, they were lying. Like, don't worry about it. So, yeah, it's crazy. Don't know about it.
So, going to the next topic, Jair Alexander is subject to trade discussions. Green Bay is open to dealing cornerback. So I don't think that they'll trade him. I think they just want to see what they can get for him.
Yeah. If the return's good enough, they can,
Titans grants linebacker Harold Landry permission to seek trade, and Browns meet with quarterbacks. So this offseason is a definite come one, come all.
Yeah.
I didn't realize this brother was still playing, but Jason Peters finally retired.
Yeah. He got drafted, I think, 2005?
With the Buffalo Bills.
Good God.
And that man finally retired.
Yeah.
Well, the Bills lock up their slot receiver, Khalil Shakir, for a 4-year extension.
Big contract.
$60 million.
Yeah, I mean, he played well last year, but...
I mean, damn.
That's a lot.
For real.
Yeah, that's a big contract.
I figured, low-key, that's something you would have paid Amari Cooper.
Yeah. I don't know, I guess they look at the age, they look at what he did in the offense. I mean, I guess he's justified with it, but yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah. And speaking of JT, so the allegations against him are serious and concerning. The Ravens GM, Eric DaCosta, reports that on Tuesday that the allegations of inappropriate conduct during massage sessions against kicker Justin Tucker are serious and concerning. And the team is waiting for results of the league's investigation before making a decision on how to proceed. But when Deshaun got that joint, that man was released.
Yes. Done. No questions asked.
Quick, fast, in a hurry. Commanders grant defensive tackle Jonathan Allen seek permission to seek a trade. So a lot of people are just getting permission to seek trades.
Yeah.
Packers proposed rule to ban tush push play popularized by the Eagles. I saw that, and a reporter came out and said that was basically just like pathetic of them to go out their way. Yeah. At first they were anonymous, but then it just came out and said it was.
Oh, okay. They were scared.
Yeah. I don't know. It was weird.
Yeah,
it was weird. It was like it said it was Green Bay, then it was anonymous, then it was. I'm like, whatever. Panthers are moving on from Shaq Thompson after 10 seasons. The veteran linebacker will enter free agency. Please do not come to the Eagles because we will have another Devin White situation. I'm genuinely curious what happened with that, because if he would have stayed on the team, he would have won a chip.
Yeah, I don't think he gets a ring because he didn't. Did he take any snaps?
He played.
Oh, he gets a ring then, I guess.
Yeah, a little bit, but he went to the Houston Texans.
No, he went.
Yeah, no, Devin White.
Who went? Oh, was it? Oh no, it was. I always get them confused. Was it Shaq Barrett? Who was the other linebacker from Tampa that went back there? Was it? I think he was with the Dolphins, and then they released him, and then they were like, "You can't go anywhere." And then I think he went to back to Tampa.
Oh yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. Oh.
Ooh, fumble. Miles said, "Don't give him a ring.
Damn. Oh my god.
Don't give him a ring." Crazy. So former safety, Falcon safety, Keanu Neal announces retirement from the NFL after 8 seasons.
Gator.
Word.
Chomp. Yeah.
Sheesh. Robert Woods is open to re-signing with the Texans.
Bobby Trees. Oh my god.
Sheesh.
Are they open to re-signing him? I don't know.
I think I have an answer for you. Give me a hell no. Hell no. Apparently, Nolan Smith tore his triceps during the Super Bowl.
I saw that.
I'm sorry, a tricep. And he's expected to return fully. I was like, damn, bro I know his arm was killing him.
Oh yeah.
Let's see. Saints are hiring ex-Chargers head coach Brandon Staley as a new defensive coordinator. I was like, well,
good guy.
I was like, damn. A lot of people do get second chances.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
After that whole Chargers debacle, I didn't think he would work another day in the NFL again. And look at him.
No. Some people just got a brain, I guess, to keep them around the league, but
well, they said, look, you can't be a head coach.
Yeah.
But you can be a coordinator. Look at Robert Saleh. That brother,
highest paid defensive coordinator in the league right now.
That brother stunk as a head coach. But wow.
But his defenses were always clicking.
What?
I mean, they were running Zach Wilson out there, and they were, 7-3? Beat you guys in that one game. I'm like,
I was sick.
No, I mean,
why are we struggling against the Jets of all people? I was sick. Speaking of Chargers, defensive back Elijah Molden agreed to a 3-year, $18 million deal. And Zach Martin retires after 11 seasons in the NFL.
Cowboys in shambles.
Well, they just restructured their contract, so
yeah.
We got a new quarterback coach who takes place of Kellen Moore. Eagles did Doug Numir. That's the best I got.
He's the OC now, or he's the QB coach? OC
QB coach.
Oh, okay, QB coach. Okay.
Yep. Hold on. Oh, what? Oh, I'm sorry. I thought we hired him. He is actually joining Kellen Moore as the Saints OC.
He was your QB coach.
Yes.
Okay.
For some reason, I had it backwards the whole time.
Gotcha. So you brought him over. Okay.
Did we talk about Andy Dalton getting?
Yes, we did.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I am mad far. So the Texans GM is absolutely open to Stephon Diggs returning. I figured he would.
Yeah.
Did we talk about Myles Garrett trade?
We did, and I think that the Cleveland's still adamant about not doing it.
Oh, this is who I was talking about. Kevin Patullo. He is replacing Kevin
That's
Moore.
Who it was, yeah.
Gotcha.
He's the OC now.
I am slow. And then got it. Oh, okay, so we were caught up.
There you go.
Wow, that was quick.
Yeah. Lot to get in there.
We might have to replace Boomer on 60 seconds.
Yeah.
That was pretty crazy. So yeah, we were caught up on all of the news. Is there anything else? I wanted to talk about mock drafts, but I think we'll wait.
Yeah, we can. Yeah, because next one we'll do. It'll have free agency and it'll have.
Yep.
Yeah, we can do the mock drafts and stuff like that.
Too. Yeah, and we'll do that next time. Let me see if I have any other DK. About damn time. Talked about I think one last thing I wanted to leave off with is that a lot of people were upset that the newer players, the more notable draftees did not participate
in the combine. Yeah.
And for college now, looks like they're going to be ridding away with the spring game.
Oh, okay.
So I was listening to Brady Quinn because that brother can talk about some football
He
on
is
his radio show.
Very smart guy, yeah.
So the way he broke it down for the college, for the spring games, it's basically like a exhibition match that doesn't really matter. The only reason why they're doing it is really just to get some cohesion and get them out there to get back up to game speed prior
scrimmage,
to the season.
Pretty much, yeah.
Right.
Real game, speed action, yeah.
So essentially, they didn't really have any meeting behind it, so it doesn't really. You're not really losing anything by canceling the spring games. I think it was just more college tradition.
Yeah.
So now they're thinking of ridding it away for this upcoming season or the next season.
Gotcha. Okay.
And I think a thing we'll start seeing now in the NFL is that guys will no longer be participating in the combine because essentially you're not really performing in front of a lot of coaches or scouts. You're really just going out there just for like TV time and to make a name.
Essentially, yeah, to get your name out there. It's better for the guys that are trying to elevate their draft stock as opposed to like, Shador, Cam Ward, like guys that already know they're going to be like, 1, 2, 3 up there in the draft. So I get it, I guess, but it does kind of suck because the combine was always a big thing.
Agreed, because it was always something. It was always nice to watch.
Oh yeah,
and just be like, like seeing high talent.
Yeah,
and just seeing how they perform.
Get you in the mood for the draft, but yeah, I mean,
Brady Quinn made a good point because he's like, you're literally going to be throwing either like 4 or 5 passes if you're a quarterback. If you're a receiver, you're going to be catching like one ball. You're going to go through all the routes and progressions. I hope the guy who rolled his ankle, I hope he's okay.
Oh yeah, I did see that.
Yeah, I hope he's okay. I mean, you think about it, like I forget the player who, I don't know if he tore his Achilles or his ankle, he injured his ankle.
The dude that did, was it the O lineman?
Yeah.
He did the bench press when he had the torn ACL.
Oh no, I think it was like a defensive. I think it was a linebacker. He was doing like lateral drills and then he planted and then he snapped something. He just was laying on the ground during a combine. So
it can go wrong. It's the same thing too. Like if you're off mentally, like if you're a big mental dude and for some reason it just doesn't click that day, they're like, damn, this dude sucks. So it's for some people it's like a lose-lose. For some people it's like, a big boost for them. But I don't know. I get it. You got to protect your money and your reputation. So it makes sense.
Right. Yeah. I think just moving forward, that would be the way for newer, or I'm sorry, more. What am I trying to say? I'm trying to look at words. I'm trying to look at this poll because it's gone now. Okay, so it looks like for the poll, what's everyone's playoff prediction or for LA? 40% won with the NBA Finals.
Okay.
So looks like they have LA going. I still haven't. I don't know. I want to say I don't know because Cleveland was pretty up there last year.
Yeah.
And then they got bounced in the second round, but Jared Allen, wow, did that man literally dictate that whole playoff run?
Sure did, yeah.
And Miles, of course, says that they are not making the finals.
It's going to be an uphill battle unless they just continue to play this way and no one stops them. But,
right, yeah. He says Western Conference Finals, he believes. And that is fair. Fair enough. I am still trying to figure out which, I almost said NFC. Trying to figure out which Eastern Conference team is going to at least get to the Eastern Conference Finals.
They got the 7th and 8th seeds right now, or under 500.
I mean, because I don't know. I feel like it's a lock. Everyone has a spot until you don't have a spot. Everybody's.
It just feels like Celtics Cavs, but I mean, also one of them could get stuck.
Because right now, and I almost lost it looking at this. The Pistons have a 6th seed.
Yeah, because they're just playing. The Cade Cunningham just playing that well. That team is their average age is like 24. If you put it all together, I'm like the
Pacers. No one's been talking about the Pacers, but they've been chilling at the 5th spot for a minute now. At 35 and 25, and no one is talking about them.
Nope,
at all. The Heat right now are barely holding on. They actually need this win, and they're tied right now.
Yeah,
they need.
What are they? 29 and 32.
31. So if they lose, I mean, they'll still keep the 7th spot, but the Magic got some work to do.
Yeah, I don't think Suggs being out. I just I
Yeah.
don't think it's clicking this year.
Then you got Atlanta and Chicago. So you got two playing teams right now. So right now, if I'm in the playing team, the only team you may have to worry about right now is maybe the Hawks. I would just say off of Trae Young alone.
Yeah. Because they get scrappy whenever they get into that. But yeah, besides that.
Some about elimination games is.
I know. Yeah.
And then going over to the Western Conference right now, Sacramento. Wow, Sacramento is looking better after the trade. They're the 8th spot right now. But the Clippers are right behind them. They are literally right behind them. We'll see what Phoenix can do. And maybe the Mavs might. We'll see. Because right now they got the 10th spot. But after losing Kyrie, I don't know.
Yeah.
But we definitely appreciate y'all tuning in for another episode. What we'll do on the weeks that are slow for news coverage, we'll probably just not stream because I'd rather not sit and have y'all like watch us force an hour and something of like 20-minute content. So we'll probably do it that way. But we definitely appreciate everybody for tuning in. For those in the back, for those who stopped by and watched, we most definitely appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for kicking it with us, and we are out of here till next time.
See ya.